This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Governor Newsom announces new measures to combat the spread of the Omicron variant across our state. The new mandates expected to go into effect coming up. A former high school basketball coach taken into custody and ordered to be held without bail just months after being released from prison. Why the prosecution is calling him a danger to society, coming up. And just a few hours left to help warm the bodies and spirits of our local homeless population this winter season. This is Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm Chris Burton, and we begin with the latest on the coronavirus, with Governor Gavin Newsom announcing a new mandate affecting California healthcare workers. The governor says all of them will be required to get a COVID booster shot. He made the official announcement as he visited a vaccine and testing clinic this morning. Newsom says that as the Omicron variant of COVID-19 spreads, the state's positivity rate increased from 2.3 to 3.3 in just 1 week. He also said education officials up and down the state are committed to keeping schools open for in-person learning.
I do not want to see our schools shut down. And I'm very grateful that all of our partners in education put out a statement amplifying that message. So let there be no doubt that is our commitment, that is our priority, and in order to advance that priority, we are committing to the second point that I wanted to highlight of the three today, and that is after our kids have enjoyed the holidays with family, friends, safely, we hope, traveling in many cases, we want to make sure they come back in as good a shape as they left. Meaning we want to make sure that we are testing our kids and preparing them to come back in-person instruction. So we'll be sending out, we are ordering 6 million tests, no charge.
Newsom says the state will distribute at-home test kits to every K-12 student returning to public school. He also announced he would be expanding testing hours across the state's 6,288 testing sites. He went on to encourage vaccines and boosters for everyone who is eligible. Meantime, the U.S. has authorized the first pill against COVID-19, a Pfizer drug that Americans can take at home to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death. The Food and Drug Administration announcement comes as the U.S. braces for a wave of new infections from the Omicron variant, threatening already strained hospitals. Pfizer's prescription pill is the first U.S. medication that doesn't require an injection or an IV, a long-awaited milestone in the battle against the virus, but initial supplies will be extremely limited, with just enough to treat tens of thousands of people. The drug was authorized for high-risk patients, especially who are most likely to get severe illness. And students are already home for the holidays, and now they're going to stay home a little longer. University of California college campuses are going back to remote learning. UCLA and 6 other campuses, including Irvine and Riverside, announced that the 2022 winter quarter will begin with 2 weeks of online instruction, although housing and dining halls will be open on some campuses. Students are advised to stay home and learn remotely as Omicron cases continue to surge. And Cal State University announced this morning that it will require a COVID booster for students across its campuses, including those at CSU Bakersfield. CSUB President Lynette Zelenzi addressed the media in a statement, saying, quote, "We encourage our runner community to continue to be vigilant on health and safety and to get a booster during the holiday. Students are required to get that booster no later than February 28th of next year or 6 months after their first 2 doses, whichever is later. Religious and medical exemptions are available."
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
And some students will be finding a little more relief this morning. President Biden announced the current student loan moratorium will extend to May 1st of next year. The White House released the statement this morning saying in part, quote, "We know that millions of student loan borrowers are still coping with the impacts of the pandemic and need some more time before resuming payments." The protections, which include a pause on loan payments and 0% interest, were set to expire on January 31st. And in your 17 Court Watch today, a judge orders a former high school basketball coach to be held without bail after a sting caught him allegedly trying to meet up with a teen for sex. Judge Michael Bush granted the prosecution's request in regards to Fernando Pruneda, who once worked as a coach at McFarland High School. Pruneda pleaded not guilty to 3 felonies relating to contacting a minor for sex. Pruneda was previously convicted of contacting a minor to commit a sex act and was sentenced to prison last year. He was just released this October, and prosecutors say 24 days later, he was caught in that sting operation, planning to meet someone he believed was a 14-year-old boy. The prosecution called him a danger to society in their request that bail be denied. Pruneda was taken into custody today. And from our 17 follow-up file, members of the community and the biological family of Orrin and Orson West held a prayer vigil last night, 1 year to the day since the brothers were reported missing. The vigil was held at the adoptive parents' former home in California City, the same location those boys were initially reported missing. Those in attendance said they continue to hold out hope the boys will be found safe and justice will be served.
Just be like, oh, well, I don't know. If you did something, let people know. Because you hurting people's kids. You taking family away from family. You know what I mean? These were babies.
The boys touched a lot of people's hearts. Like, you know, people, they have kids. They have nieces. They have nephews. So to see 2 toddlers missing, poof, be gone, and nothing, no tracks or nothing, it's just disturbing, and it's a red flag from the beginning.
In the years since Orrin and Orson went missing, new details have been uncovered in the case. 17's Christian Galeno has those details, plus interviews with family members and experts in these types of cases. You can find his special report on our website, kget.com. And in your 17 Crime Watch today, the American Red Cross is asking for your help after someone broke in and stole a trailer full of relief supplies from its property in Northwest Bakersfield. The Red Cross says it happened Monday night at their location on Gilmore Avenue, and it appears the thieves tried to make off with 2 trailers, but were only able to get one out safely. The organization says the people who will really suffer from this theft are those in need of those emergency services.
These supplies are needed by the communities that we serve to help ensure that everyone has safety and has a safe place to go in terms of a disaster.
If you've seen a Red Cross trailer featuring the organization's logo, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 861-3110. And just a reminder, we are down to the final hours of our coat and blanket drive for our local homeless population. You heard us mention it. It's going to be a cold, rainy week here, and those donations are sorely needed in 2021. According to Advocates for the Unsheltered, more than 2,000 people in Kern reported experiencing homelessness at some point. You can donate new or gently used coats and blankets right here at KGET Studios at 22nd and L Streets in downtown Bakersfield.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.